Who's crying? There's a doggy downstairs crying. Is it Charlotte? She wanting to come up here?
Oh, might be.
Can't let her up here.
Harley's
Good morning, everybody.
Hey.
Good morning. Good afternoon to the Major all the way over in London, England. Tiny Tim checked in earlier this morning, but he went out on a bike ride, which means vroom, vroom. He's out on a ride. So hopefully he will remain safe and have a great ride. And I appreciate him stopping in to say hello to Papa Jim and I, and also to give us a thumbs up. So that is awesome. Yeah, that little puppy, she's downstairs. She wants up here. Yeah. She wants to be up in the business, and we can have her up here. However, she'll find a corner to do her business in.
She'll tee.
She'll tee or go tinky poo poo, one of the two. I don't like it when she does that. She's never cried down there like that before.
Let me go grab her.
He's going to go grab her. So good morning, good morning, good morning. While Papa Jim steps out. Did you see? Look at that, Major. We have raided the wallet.
What?
But you know what? We had really bad weather here yesterday. It was so blustery here yesterday that I was talking to a friend of mine in Tennessee. We were doing a video chat, and it was pitch black in the house. I mean, without any lights on or anything, it was like nighttime in the house. Hello, Charlotte. Are you going to come up and say hello to everybody?
I wonder if it's because it's storming outside.
Oh, it's storming. He thinks she's upset because it's storming. Come sit with Daddy.
Come here, baby.
We'll bring Charlotte up into the mix today. We have our Colonel Mustard Wiener dog, and now we'll bring up our little Toto dog. Say hello. You gonna say hello to everybody? Are you upset because it's storming? Huh, Toto? Are you worried that a little tornado is going to come and carry us all the way to Kansas and beyond? She's such a sweet girl. She's a rescue. Somebody found her abandoned in a park, if you can believe it. Somebody just dumped her. And so they fostered her for a little while, and then she came to live here with us.
We've had her for how long?
We've had her for 6 years.
Ew.
6 years she's been with us, and she's just a spoiled princess. The Major says, hello, Mr. Jim.
Hello, Major.
Oh, yes. And this is Charlotte, by the way.
Yeah, Miss Charlotte.
So how is everybody doing? I was just telling everybody that it was so stormy yesterday that I did not make it out to the bank. So we don't know how much money we've got to work with.
My meerkat.
Charlotte, look right here. Look right here. Hi, Charlotte. Good morning, Denise. Good morning. Yeah, Major says it's your favorite day. It's wallet day.
Oh, I didn't bring my wallet up here either. Uh-oh.
It's because we had to raid it downstairs and bring all the cash up with us.
All my singles.
All your singles. We know you won't be able to do anything with the singles now if they end up in the pinata.
That's terrible.
So, yeah, it's very, very stormy. Denise, how are your dogs handling the storms? Because we have Charlotte up with us because she was crying downstairs. She can't handle the storms right now. It's blustery and windy. Not as bad as it was yesterday. Yesterday was pretty darn stinky. But so I'm just going to say that as a caveat to let you guys know. If we lose signal, it's because it's windy and blustery out. We might lose internet, but hopefully we won't. So let's just go into our very first spinny wheel.
So
they sleep through it, she says.
if the screen becomes distorted, that's just the way my face normally looks.
It's the way his face normally looks. Let's do our savings 1 through 50. We'll get this first one out of, well, hello. Witchell Rain Guy. I hope I'm saying that right. I know I'm butchering that. I'm so sorry. From Holland. Our friend from Holland. Welcome. If this is your first time here, what we do is my husband, Papa Jim, and I, we come on every week and we spin this adventure wheel, and it tells us how much money we need to stuff into a pinata for a future vacation that we're going to be taking. So we do that twice. We have 2 different wheels with different numbers on it, and we also have a wheel that we spin for our destination of where we might end up going. Mm-hmm. So we picked, I think we've got 4 or 5 destinations on there that sound fun to us where we've never been to before. And we spin every week and we put those in the pinata too. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to pop you in the nose, little dog. And kind of like we shall. Okay. I hope I said that one right.
We shall.
We shall.
We shall.
The two A's threw me for a loop there, friend. Good morning, Blue. Welcome in. We are just getting ready to spin our first spinning wheel of the day.
A couple of. Oh, I want to make sure that this thing's still working.
Oh, we want to do our. Oh my gosh, that's getting heavy on that wrist. Okay, Michelle says we said it right.
All right.
What we have here before we do our spinning wheels is we have this. We have this this bank. It's a mason jar bank. And every week, Papa Jim saves his change out of his pockets, and we put the change into this little bank, and it counts the money for us as we put the money in. Mm-hmm. At the end of 26 weeks, whoever can guess the closest without going over to how much change we've deposited in this bank will win a gift. So
you can either win.
Counts it. Yeah. You could either win
one of
these banks.
Less the money in it.
Yeah, not the money. Just one of the banks will order it and have it sent directly to your home. I believe that would probably be for U.S. only.
Yeah.
Or when we go on our vacation, we would buy you a tchotchke and send you a tchotchke from wherever it is we end up.
Wherever we go.
Or a coffee mug from our merch store where we've got our Country Mama Musings. Neither one of us have a Country Mama Musings mug this morning.
No.
We both have big red roosters.
You can't see them. Yeah.
There. I had to turn. My wrist wouldn't let me do it. So, my goodness. I'm going to keep it clean today, folks. Got to keep it clean. Otherwise, I'd throw a dirty joke in there somewhere. But we got to keep the channel clean. We got children
in here.
Oh, we have little children, doggies that can't hear jokes like that. So every week we come on and we put money in the bank. Mm-hmm. It counts it on a little LCD thing right there, so we know how much money we have in here, and we'll double count it. We'll double check it when we have our giveaway. But this money is going to go with us on our trip for incidentals. If we want to go through a drive-thru and get something to drink, if we want to stop off at a really weird truck stop and buy a souvenir, whatever, we'll have this money to do that. So in goes this morning.
Okay.
A quarter.
Did it count?
Yeah.
Okay.
We just putting a quarter in to start? No. So there's 25.
Okay, so what I do all week long is when I pay for something and then I get change back, I do not take that change and in the next thing I purchase, if it's like 38 cents, I don't go in my pocket. Every night I take my pocket and take my change out of it.
So we end up with all this change.
And then I take the silver and the pennies, and then all the silver goes in one, and the pennies, we have a separate jar for the pennies.
Yeah. Oh, good morning, Lynette. Good morning.
So that's what I do, and so that's how I get my change.
Blue's popping in, but she's here for the spins. Mr. Jim's wallet is ready, Major.
Yeah, that's.
He thought it was going to come with money. Did you have a nice birthday? Yes, I did. I had a very nice, quiet birthday with Papa Jim. So let's go ahead. We're going to put another quarter in here. So there's our second quarter, a third quarter. I know it's not where you guys can see it. Boop. And I've got a dime.
Put a quarter in.
Another dime before Papa Jim says the quarter. We're going to confuse you. It's going to be tricky. You know how much we've got in here. Here comes another quarter. We're still looking for the back quarter, by the way.
And then a nickel.
And then a nickel. And then we're going to spin. Ow. Oh. That's so heavy on my arm.
Oh, we hit a milestone.
Oh, did we hit a milestone?
Yeah.
Let me see. Well, that's kind of a mini milestone.
But still.
We're on our way to a big milestone with all that change in there. Can you guess what it is? Don't guess in the chat. You don't want to give it away. You want to make sure you have a good chance of winning. All right, here is our savings wheel, our wheel of adventure. 1 through 50, we're going to spin it. We hold it up so you guys can see it. We have no idea what it says. You get to see it first, and then we have to sit through a little commercial, and then we finally get to see it.
So
and then
did you tell me if we hit a double, we might be in trouble?
Yeah, if we hit a double this week.
Because we didn't go to the bank.
I didn't go to the bank yesterday, so if we get a double, we might have to do an IOU.
Yeah. Would you guys trust us with an IOU?
I wouldn't.
Bummer.
I tell you what's a miracle. It's a miracle that we haven't had to raid the Pinata yet for any incidentals around the house.
Yeah.
Because sometimes pay period, you get to the end of the pay period, there's too much month at the end of our money.
So
it makes it difficult.
I've got a little secret to tell everybody.
Oh no, what's the secret?
Papa Jim spends money.
Papa Jim does spend money. He spoils me.
Right. And she, honestly, no, I'm not going to say it. Because that would be, what do you call it?
Blasphemous?
It's not sexist or something, where I would say that the woman spends more money than the guy does, but in this relationship,
That would be a sexist statement,
It
but it
would.
would also be accurate.
right? But,
He spends more money than I do, but give me a chance. I'll spend money.
yeah.
All right, here we go, guys.
I hide the checkbook from her.
Doesn't matter. I just go to the bank and I get
She
temporary.
does. She just goes to the drive-thru and they all know her. It's like, oh, no problem.
He signs his own paycheck and they're questioning it because I signed his name better than
Yeah.
he does. All right, here we go. Here's our
All right,
first
here we
spin.
go.
Here we go. You guys get to see it before we do. We don't watch. We don't watch. We don't know what it is. Did you guys see it? We didn't see it yet. What do we have? What do we have? We have to sit through a commercial, see?
Is it more than $1?
We have to hope it's more than $1. Well, we don't. We don't know what we want.
$12.
$12. Wah, wah. That could very possibly mean that we're going to end up, at a dumpster diving for lunch one day. 10, 11, $12. There they is. There they is. Where are these going to go, Papa Jim, for those who are new?
What do you always
like
tell
Michelle?
me? What do you always tell me?
What do I always tell you? I don't know. What do I always tell you?
It doesn't matter where we go or what we spend, just as long as we're together.
As long as we're together. I think he likes me. So we're going to take our money and we're going to pop it in my muffin right here.
Yeah.
Usually Papa Jim stuffs my muffin.
Yeah.
Lately, he's been trusting me to do
it. Oh, wait.
Shake it up. Oh, we've got a lot of money in there. Good morning, Miss Brenda. Smash that like button, Brenda says. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, I got to tell you guys, if you were not in our live for coffee chat on Wednesday mornings, I shared with all of you that this man right here and all 4 of our sons surprised me with a new laptop for my birthday. So I'm so grateful and thankful for that because it is going to be a wonderful tool. I did render a video the other day and it took not nearly as much time as it's been taken in the past. So it's got a little bit more oomph behind it. And so I'm going to keep what we're on right now is my old laptop. I'm going to keep it set up so we can do our lives. And then the other laptop I'll use for rendering all of my videos.
And the old laptop's got to stay plugged in all the time. So
it does. We moved some things around today before the broadcast. And we unplugged it just to move it from one plug to another. Boop. Dead. It died that quick. So you have to keep it plugged in all the time. And I'm always tripping over it and stuff. So you're good, Mr. Jim, says the major.
For that round.
For that round. They are so good to me, Brenda. You have no idea. So I was so appreciative. I spent all day Thursday running around doing things with my kids and my daughter-in-law and my one son who is a computer genius actually had me install a program on the brand new laptop and from 1,700 miles away. You guys remember the movie War Games where all of the code just kind of goes all over the place as this computer goes crazy? That's what my new laptop looked like. There was just code everywhere. He was just like doing stuff.
Yeah, 2 of our boys are computer kind of gurus, and the one that's helping hers, the one that he works for a big automotive group, and he does all their IT stuff. And then the other one is he's become a school teacher.
Yeah, school teacher in automotive repair.
In automotive repair.
Takes after his daddy.
So he's computer savvy too, because they
both have degrees.
They all went
degrees.
Yeah, they all went to that.
It's really, really great. Brenda, yours was the 20th. Mine was the 21st. And then my biological father, his is the 22nd. So lots of good April birthdays. Yeah. And then Papa Jim's is in May. His is coming.
Our Country Mama's sisters is the 25th of this month, and then our anniversary is the 26th.
On the 26th, we've got an anniversary coming up.
What's this anniversary?
What year is it? It's 39. 39 years of wedded bliss.
Wedded.
We've been together longer than 39, but we've been married 39 years next month.
This September, we'll be together 41.
Mm-hmm.
So
41.
And we're only 48, so.
We don't know how that happened. Brenda, I would have been lost trying to set up that
Go.
whole computer if it weren't for the boys.
Yeah.
And as the whole screen is just flying by and he's doing all the work, in my mind I'm thinking, thank you for doing this for me, son, and remember I taught you how to use a spoon. So when they're frustrated that we don't get the technological stuff, it's always kind of nice to remind them, don't forget who taught you how to wipe your tushy.
Automotive, yeah.
Mama did stuff for
automotive computer stuff. That's my deal. But when it comes to PCs and computers and stuff like that for the businesses or personal stuff,
not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
So I wanted to talk about how last week we were talking about one of the things we might do if we end up at Mount Rushmore, because last week we selected Mount Rushmore to put into the pinata. So that might be one of our potential. Was it Mount Rushmore or was it
Mount Rushmore?
It was Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. It was Tennessee.
Well, what's weird is we were talking about it, and we were talking about the possibility of maybe doing a hot air balloon ride. And you know what's weird? All of a sudden on our TV downstairs, commercials started showing up.
And we just talked about it.
We're up here.
And we didn't even look at it.
We didn't even look them up. We're up here.
Yeah. I mean, we're on the
second floor.
Yeah, we're on the same IP.
Yeah.
I guess.
But the TV starts dropping. South Dakota, Mount Rushmore, hot air balloon experiences.
So
freaky.
But I think that most of my time is going to be spent at Mount Rushmore itself.
Well, we're going to have lots of time to do lots of things.
No, it's going to take me a long time to chisel my face along with rocks up there.
I want to know, if you chisel your face into Mount Rushmore, are you going to chisel this face or the dog mask that you wore last week, which was classic?
Definitely. I don't know. That dog mask was pretty impressive.
That dog mask was so funny. Brenda says, same thing. My girls won't help me because they think I should know how to already. Yeah. You know what, Brenda? My son's kind of the same way. Now, setting up this laptop, I mean, he just took control. He did the whole thing. But there's sometimes when I'm editing a video and I've done something or I need to do something, and I call my son. It's like, how do I do this? He goes, Mom, did you look it up? Did you look it up on YouTube? Because I guarantee you somebody else had this issue and they needed to fix it, and they made a video tutorial showing you how to fix it.
I didn't know he would tell you that.
He tells me that all the time.
I can't say all the time, but I work at a new car dealership, and I tell people, they want to know, well, does my car doesn't do this, or I can't make it do this. And I said, well, did you look at the owner's manual? Did you read the owner's manual?
Why do that when you can ask somebody?
That little book in the glove box that probably, tells. Anyway, it's funny.
It is spooky major about the hot air balloon thing. But Papa Jim did say, you know what? I think we just probably need to take a hot air balloon ride.
Yeah.
So I will admit, because I tell you guys that every time we get a destination, I look up things to do regarding that destination in that area. I looked up that balloon company after it kept dropping so many hints on the TV. And I was hoping they would have an excursion where you could go and just maybe stay tethered, and they would go up a couple 100 feet and then bring it back down. That's what I wanted to do. They don't offer that. It's an early morning sunrise. I still think we need to do this though, because now that I think about it, it's fears be darned, right? I think it would be so cool to go up and be in a hot air balloon and like do a flyby of Mount Rushmore in a balloon. I think that would. I don't know. I don't know if they go exactly.
Well, I don't think they can. I don't know if they can fly directly over it.
I don't think they go over it, but I'm sure you could see it as you go by.
I think that's got one of those dead air,
like a no-fly
zone. But I think you can probably fly by it. But this is how I look at things. Honestly, is you fears can control you, but when it's your time, it's your time.
I don't worry about if it's my time. I worry about if it's the pilot's time.
But I'll guarantee I'd figure out how to fly that thing.
I bet you would.
I would.
Either that, or we'd learn how to crash land really, really well.
Or we learn what is it called? Our atmosphere looks like on top.
Oh, where it turns dark. Hello, Melody.
Because
welcome
I'd
in
probably
from Bake
be
a Leg.
hitting
Let's dig it.
That flame thing.
We'd be way high up. Then we would lose consciousness, and then we would just be floating.
I wonder
in a balloon unconscious.
Can you Google
and frozen?
Can you Google how to fly an air balloon while you're doing it, so they show you?
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that make a great video? Wouldn't that make a great video if you were in a balloon, a hot air balloon? Yeah. The pilot passes out, and you can actually Google how to fly a hot air balloon, and then you take over the controls. That reminds me of one of my favorite videos is Foo Fighters, how to fly. I love that video.
That's funny.
I really do. Okay,
All right.
so let's do
Here,
our
let's put a couple some more change
let's
in
put
there.
some George Washingtons in here in the thought that maybe we will
George
do.
Washington's.
Yeah, he's on the front of the quarter.
Is he?
He is.
He's on the dollar too?
We'll put him in here in the thought that maybe we'll end up in a hot air balloon doing a flyby past his
I
profile.
thought bats were
Here's
on quarters.
25. We keep looking for the bat.
These are all eagles.
This has a man on the back. I don't have my glasses. This has some man on the back, but not a bat. So there was 25. Here's 25. Here's 25. This one has something on it. Another man. I don't know who it is. I'll have to wear my glasses. Here's 25.
That's because this is Colorado right there.
This is a Colorado 25, which just speaking with Papa Jim's sister, she wants to go to Telluride. I think we'll put Telluride on a future
What is that?
trip list.
Tel Aviv?
Not Tel Aviv, Telluride. Although I know Yossi, who hasn't been in here lately, I'm sure Yossi would like for me to plan a trip for us to go to Tel Aviv and over to Israel.
I just saw on
Here's another
Facebook,
25.
one of our friends, their kiddo
25.
is in the army, and they just got back from
5.
Dubai. He's 6 months in Dubai.
Who was that?
Brandon Pastor.
Ah!
Shouldn't
say. Here's 10. And here's another 10. Boy, this thing's getting
Special Force. You might come get me.
Oh, yeah, they might. You got to be careful. Don't be giving away top secrets like that.
Destination time.
Oh, it is.
What does it say?
Let's see, Mr. Jim, did you do any research on those coins? I think he wanted you to research about the bat coins because he gave us some information.
I did not.
As soon as we leave here, he's like busy doing things and he works all week. He doesn't take the time to do things like that. Okay, let's do our destination. So we're going to hold it up again. You guys get to see it first where we might potentially go. We've got 5 destinations on the wheel. We will write it down, pop it into the pinata, and then at the end of 26 weeks, what is this week? 17.
Is this 17?
It's 17. We're really getting close to where we can pop open that pinata, count out all the money for you guys, and then see where we're going to go on our destination. I have a question, though. And maybe you guys can, and maybe I'll put it on my, oh, it's really starting to rain. Maybe I could put it on my community page, too. This is what I want to know. When we get together for week 26, we're going to spin, put everything into the pinata. Do we extend that live and break open the pinata and count everything right then and there at the end of week 26? Or do we come back the following week? I think we come back the following week. Break open the pinata, count all the money, and then the week after that, we'll start week 1 of our next adventure.
Right.
Because as we plan our first adventure, we're still going to start saving up for our next adventure.
Right.
And I've already decided whatever we don't spend on our first adventure is going to go into the second pinata.
Did you catch that, Major? Papa Jim's wallet's not going to get a break.
You're not going to get a break. You'll get a break 1 week because the 1 week that we're going to count out all the money, we will not be putting any money in the pinata. And we have to go buy a new pinata.
Yeah.
And that pinata is going to be a taco. So we're going to go from stuff in the muffin to stuff in the taco every week. I think it'll be hysterical.
Well, is that taco?
I have to find a big taco, though.
Going to be big enough?
I have to find a big taco. The taco I found, it wasn't a big enough taco.
I was going to say, I mean, if we have to
behave yourself.
Never
mind. Oh, my goodness. Let's go ahead. We're going to spin for our destination. Here we go. We're not watching. You are.
Coffee.
There it is. Coffee break time, Papa Jim says. See, it went right to commercial. I know we don't even get to see it because I saw it in the reflection. Hello, Marlene. I'm glad you're here. We've already put $12 in the pinata today, which is not much.
Not much.
We might be dumpster diving for lunch one of those days, unless we get a good number on our next spin. But where could we possibly be going? Let's see.
Where is it?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Good Lord.
His nemesis. It really is a good tie between Nashville, Tennessee, and Mount Rushmore. Those are the 2 top prominent ones.
I think her BFF is waiting my wheel.
My best friend lives down by Nashville. She really wants that to be the winner. But Papa Jim really wants to go to Mount Rushmore. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to write it down.
Actually, there's some things, and I'm trying to be sounding like I'm it's not prejudice. What is it called?
Biased.
I'm biased to Mount Rushmore, but there's actually stuff in the Tennessee area I do want to see. So
Yeah, it'll be good either way. It really will.
I just don't want her to think that she's like up on me. So
week 17, Nashville, Tennessee. We're gonna go ahead and give this a fold, and we're gonna pop it into the pinata. Boop, there it goes. There it goes. Give her a good shake. We won't know where our destination is until we break that pinata open.
Nope.
And oh my gosh, what are we going to break it open with? We're going to break it open with my lightsaber. Do you think that lightsaber would break it open?
No, you'll break the lightsaber.
I don't want to break the lightsaber.
I would say probably what my I don't know. We'll find something. Probably
we'll find a stick.
Probably a crochet hook.
Oh, I have a joke for you, Papa Jim. Riddle me this. What is brown and sticky?
Brown and sticky. Brown and sticky. I have a lot of things, but I'm not going to say them. But I would have to say, I don't know, fudge.
A stick.
Brown and sticky.
Wah, wah. It's a funny dad joke. A stick. See, the major has it right there. A stick.
I was gonna say a diaper.
Oh, that takes me back. Don't get me started on that. Speaking of potty humor, did you guys catch my latest episode of Mama's Tangles and Yarns? It has all to do with a Luggable Lou. The Luggable Lou's story.
I was going to say brownies.
Brownies. That was a good guess. Honey was a good guess.
Because there's nothing better than getting a thing of brownies, and then the very, very center is like almost not done. What?
What are you going to say about that?
That I don't get it because she eats the center. I get these edges when I get home from work. I used to get these edges, and I said, well, where's the center? Well, I had to try it. Well, yeah, you had to try the center to get the...
I don't like the edges, but now, since I learned about the story about the heel, which I'll have to share another time, now do you get a center cut?
No.
Why?
Because we don't do brownies.
Because I don't make brownies anymore because of my diabetes. But I did pick up a box of keto-friendly brownie recipe mix, so I'll probably be making those up. I almost made them for my birthday, but I didn't do it.
I have not been diagnosed being diabetic, but I still support her.
But how much have you lost, Papa Jim, since I've been diagnosed?
I think I'm stuck at 26 pounds.
26 pounds?
I'm stuck.
He sounds like a watermelon today. Sounds like a watermelon. So we will be looking at some more things to do down in the Nashville area. I have found some fun places to stay. I found some fun places to go, and there will be more to do. Oh, here comes this big old monstrosity.
I want to get this stack of...
See, Melody says, I don't like the edges either. I always go for the center. Right? Man, a brownie sounds good right now. I think I'm going to make those today on this blustery day. I'm going to make our keto brownies today.
But I mean, really, it doesn't mean just brownies. It's like sandwiches. I mean...
It's like a kid that doesn't want to eat the crust.
Right. I mean, it's just everybody wants to go for the center.
That's not necessarily true, though, because when I bake bread, when I bake our artisan bread, which if you haven't seen the video for that yet, and I did see that Marlene was saying that she has been getting caught up on the canning collaboration from over at the Mennonite Farmhouse, and so she just was able to get caught up on that one that I did, and she appreciates my silliness. Somebody's got to. But when I bake my bread, I like the ends of the bread, of that homemade bread. Now, if you give me just a regular old loaf of bread from the store, I don't want the heel at all.
I don't mind the heels.
But give me a fresh
bread,
baked bread, yeah.
And then especially if it's still warm, and then you put some butter on it.
Yes.
But
I need to bake some bread.
But don't they like Crustables that you can buy frozen, or they have those things you can push down over the bread?
Yeah, that takes the crust off.
Because a lot of kids, they'd rather...
If you have not seen our Uncrustables video, you need to see our Uncrustables video. My gosh, that was fun. We did that with our grandkids, and it was a challenge.
If you think...
So much fun.
Yeah, man, I tell you what, I thought I could blast right through that thing.
It's harder than you think. The challenge is can you eat an Uncrustable in 1 minute? Yeah. And so all of us lined up. We had our selected Uncrustables, and to see how that turned out, make sure you go see the video. Newspaper is correct. I can only eat brownies once a year. Yeah, I haven't had a brownie in a long, long time, but
We
I
did
want
splurge,
it.
kind of when we went out to the to get our spices. We did get those.
We did. We splurged when we went to go get when we went to an Amish market, and I will have a video coming out soon with our haul on that. Our treats that we got are not in the haul because
Right.
they got eaten, and we didn't eat them all. They went to the piggies
Yeah.
too, because those Amish, they were so delicious, but they were from scratch, from scratch, from
With
scratch.
no preservatives.
No preservatives. They started smelling very yeasty and turning
yeah.
very, very quickly.
I would venture to say if you get something like that, baked goods or anything like that, you
Gotta
probably
eat it
need them
quick.
for the first 2 days. Well, probably 2 days.
Yeah,
then,
2 days was it, and then it was like, I think I'm gonna treat the
Right.
animals to what's left.
But they were really good.
They
just,
were so fresh and
yeah.
homemade, and we even kept them in the fridge so that they wouldn't go bad. But it didn't
Especially
take long.
especially they weren't chocolate because all their chocolate stuff was sold out.
They're telling jokes on the side. What goes black, white, black, white, black, white, black, white? And then she says a penguin rolling down the hill. That's from Blue.
That's funny.
How do you confuse a new laborer? Show him 2 shovels and tell him to take his pick.
Get it?
No.
2 shovels. Take your pick.
Well, it's PIC, so I was thinking like a selfie pick.
No.
Okay. I think we're caught up on some of the jokes. Yes, check out the Crustable. Oh my gosh, that was a fun video, and our grandkids were in it with us. So check out the Crustable challenge. Uncrustable challenge. Lots of fun. Okay, he wants me to put some quarters in here.
Yeah, I want to get some of this stack that I pulled out of my pocket.
Wrist hurts so bad. It's getting really difficult to hold this thing. So there's 25. There's another 25. Another 25. And another 25. I think that one has Washington Carver on the back of it. Here's a nickel. Another nickel. A dime. Are you guys keeping track? Because you add all this up and you go back and watch our past videos, you'll know how much is in here. A dime. A dime. And another dime.
And so I have a few more, just a few more we'll do after the next spin, and then we'll.
Yeah. But I mean, it's filling up and it's getting heavy. There's a lot of stuff in there.
So right now there's.
No, you can't tell them how much is in there. It's a surprise. Let's do our last savings one. This is going to be numbers 51 through 100. If we hit a double here, we might be in trouble.
Yeah, we might be in trouble.
Because we're looking a little thin on the cash end over here because I didn't go to the bank.
We got lots of ones, though. How come you sell my ones?
I know, you like your ones. There's a reason why Mama steals the ones. All right, so Major says he really wants us to be researching the coins.
I will.
Yeah, and my brother's a coin guru, and I'm sure he'll let us know if we've got anything we need to be concerned about. I cannot to see where you guys end up and how much money you will have. So exciting. I know, right, Marlene? I really love that I've not kept track of anything. This is it's all random. We have no idea.
I can't even keep track if I had breakfast or not.
Did we have breakfast today?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I have had coffee in my big red rooster cup. But I didn't make it to the store to buy more creamer. All right, here we go. 51 through 100.
Right, you guys are going to see it before we do because we're not going to look.
Here we go. Not watching. I didn't turn the music back up either. We do have music, though. Went right to commercial. We have no idea what it is. Cute little kid telling us we need to learn how to play piano. Look at that cute kid. Cute kid. All right, let's skip the video. And we have... It's not letting me skip the video. $71, Papa Jim. We didn't even break 100 this week.
Oh, no.
Oh, dumpster diving for sure. All right.
All right, there's 10.
20. 30. 40. You know we're low because we don't even have any 20s. So there's 40. 50. 60. 70. And 1. Woo! $71 going into the Pinata. I know Brenda's like, yay, $71.
I'm sending one towards.
Blue's like, yay, $71. We're going to fold it up. We're going to stuff that muffin. Boop. Give her a good shake, Papa Jim. Oh my gosh, you guys hear how much is in there? I've had a couple of you contact me privately and saying, hey, we're really worried about the pinata. You guys really don't want to have all that cash laying around. It's locked up securely. Yeah. Don't worry.
I got it. Yeah.
It's not sitting around.
I got a big cabinet that has a lock on it.
Yeah, and it's a good lock. Yeah, he says if you don't know what he means, he's got a big cabinet that locks and is fireproof. Yeah. And so that is safe. There's no worries about anybody coming and getting it. So nice one, Jim. Bit of an easy week for this week.
I'm telling you. It is. And this is the deal is that the weather's been bad, and I was going to maybe stop by the bank on the way home from work to grab some money, and I didn't. I had things on my mind to do here when I got home. Anyway, so we didn't grab it. So this was stuff that was left over, and I was like, man, oh God, if we hit a double or something.
I know, we would be in trouble.
Yeah, I was going to have to put like a shoe as collateral.
Collateral.
Anyway, all right, let me get this rest of this change out. There's only a few coins.
Yes, Marlene, exactly. All right, more change.
So here's this.
And you know what? If you guys have not been over to see Marlene over at Snow Gardener 307, she has one that's budgeting, and then she has a channel that's everything but the budgets. Her budgeting one is where I got
the idea.
Okay, Marlene is the reason I have the idea to even do this budgeting thing in the first place. She gets full credit. If you have not had a chance to go check out her channel, go. It is mesmerizing. I enjoy thoroughly watching her videos. But she has one of these banks that count everything. Yeah. And it's a pig. It's so adorable. Her little pig. I can't remember the piggy's name off the top of my head. No cash containers were hurt in the making of this video.
No wallets either.
No wallets this year or this month either. So, or this week. I don't know what I'm at. So, but she has a little, gosh, I can't remember your piggy's name. What is the Georgette? Georgette is her little pig that she puts her change in. And I thought, I need one of those banks, but I didn't want to copy you. So I wanted a pig, but I didn't get a pig. But I found this cool mason jar. So I thought, well, the mason jar, living on a farm and all the canning I do, had to get the mason jar. But one of these days, there's a Georgette in my future. All right, here goes a quarter. And another quarter, and a dime, and another dime, and another dime. He's doing that on purpose. He puts it right where I have to like T-Rex to grab for it. And a nickel.
All right,
and another nickel. That's all the change this week. I mean, we've got a big major.
Let me see what it is.
We have a big major
we're getting close.
Milestone coming up, but it's not this week. I don't even know if we'll hit it next week, but it's major.
Let's have a lot of change.
It's not the major, but it's major. But it's heavy. We've got a lot of change in there. Do you guys even have a guess? Don't guess here. You don't want to give it away. And Marlene loves the mason jar.
So
need to add some plant life into your backdrop, says James, our son, who's been so helpful with our hydroponics. I have to show you guys. He wants me to set up a little hydroponics. I have plant life. Look, James. Yeah. I have a beautiful plant life behind us in our backdrop, and that is a plant that my beautiful daughter-in-law brought me for my birthday. Isn't that pretty? It's a beautiful flower. Let me show you guys the lettuce garden because I've not done an update on our floating lettuce garden. Oh my gosh. You guys should see how much the lettuce has grown.
Why don't you read some pictures?
Okay, I just want to show you. This was Wednesday, okay? This was Wednesday. Do you guys see all of the little lettuce plants growing in our floating lettuce garden there? That was on Wednesday. Let me show you 2 days later. Let me show you Friday. Compare and contrast, right? This was taken yesterday. Look at those beautiful heads of lettuce coming up. They're touching each other. They've grown so much. Look at that. Isn't that amazing?
I'll check on them in the morning before I go to work, and then when I get home,
they've grown while he's been at work. So we have 21 little plants in here. cilantro, and all different types of lettuce. And then we've got Papa Jim's herb garden growing next to it. And I know I think I took a picture of it on the iPad. It might have been just on the camera. It might be that I don't have it on the iPad. But we've got a really nice little cracky method that we've put together, and he's done all of that. So that's on another device. Is the scenery not good enough? Major wants to know, James, do you not like this scenery? Is there something wrong here? Let's see. That lettuce looks good, doesn't it? I was so tempted. I made some bean and cheese burritos for dinner last night on low carb tortillas. They're okay. They're not the same, but we make do. And I was so tempted to just reach around and pinch off just a few little leaves to wrap up in our burrito, but I didn't do it. But once they're grown and they're healthy and they're full, that's exactly what I'll be doing. I'll just turn around, grab a few leaves, rinse them off, and put them in our food right there. No dirt, no bugs. Although we do have, I don't know where you guys live, we have these little bugs here in the Midwest. They're called box elder bugs. And they come out every year around the same time. And I remember them as a child. I did not care for them at all. I still don't care for them. They give me the heebie-jeebies. And they're just little beetles. And they're black with little red markings on their back. They're harmless. They don't bite. They don't hurt anything. They're not dirty like roaches. I don't want you to think that we have that. But there's a box elder bug that has just kind of made his home on that floating raft.
It's his. He
runs around. He doesn't go on the leaves. He just likes to sun himself under the leaves, I think. And so I see him every once in a while. I haven't named him. I haven't gotten to that point where I've named him. But we do have one little box elder bug. Matter of fact, as I look over, there's a box elder bug on the window right now. They're annoying more than anything, but they're not dirty like roaches. But
they come out at the same time
every year. And some places get like completely infested with them. Like I've seen places here where we live, where on the south side of somebody's barn or something will just be covered in box elder bugs.
Because they're looking for the heat.
They want the heat. And that's why I think this little bug loves living right there on the floating lettuce garden, because he likes under the, he's like getting a suntan.
Right. He's like at a tanning parlor.
He feels like he's on, what's that beach? Myrtle Beach. He just feels like he's laying out at Myrtle Beach having a good time. All right, Marlene, thank you so much for popping in. I don't want to squishy it. I don't kill things, Major. No. I can't kill things. It's epic. I would love one. You would love one what, Blue? What do you want? What do you want? What would you love to have one of?
A floating salad bar.
A floating salad bar?
Yeah.
Oh, do that.
And if anybody who doesn't know, that was like a $1 deal.
Yeah, that entire salad bar only cost us $1 at an auction, and then it sat in Papa Jim's. Look at how the curtains are moving in the background
from the wind.
That's how windy it is. The wind is coming through the cracks of the house
of the window
and moving the curtains and the blinds and everything. That's how windy it is outside.
For people to know, tell them how old this house is.
This is a 1902 farmhouse, so it's not buttoned down tight.
Yeah.
It's got cracks in it, and we get a lot of breeze here and there. Yeah, the floating salad bar says.
But anyway, so it was in my workshop forever, and then I wanted to clean my workshop out so I could actually work in it, and so I put it outside, and then the country mama says, "Hey, why don't we bring that up there? Because I have an idea."
And he knows when I say I have an idea. He knows to watch out, right, Major? Need to do a video on the cracky container DIY. We did, James. We did.
Yeah,
we have a video out. No, we have the video out. It is out, and it's on where we used unusual containers to do a crack key system. And we have these containers that our dog treats come in, and Papa Jim has been saving those to put nuts and bolts and different parts in. And so we did a whole video. It just came out last week. I think it came out on Tuesday, about how we did the crack key system. And that's the picture I was going to show. And matter of fact, I think I've got it on my phone instead of the iPad.
Yeah. And it's very important
that you don't drown your plants.
On the crack key, you don't draw. Now on the floating salad bar, those plants are directly into the hydroponic solution that we have. because we have an air pump aerating the or oxygenating the water. On the cracking method, as the plant uses the nutrient water up, it forms these roots out the side, which are called air roots.
Mm-hmm.
And the air roots are what gives oxygen to the plant.
This is basil that is growing in these little hydrogen clay pellets in this little cup with no soil, and it's sitting in the nutrient water, and they're growing right in these little pellets.
So we'll take a picture.
So cool.
In the salad bar, we'll take a picture real quick of one of the cups. We'll pull it up, and you can see the root structure.
Oh, the root structure is amazing.
It's
and
amazing.
I want to tell Blue, yes, that is a large salad bar, and that would take up your entire kitchen. But you can get like a Rubbermaid container. Get a dark Rubbermaid container with a lid, and you can cut the holes in the lid. And you can do that cracking method in the lid. You can do like probably anywhere between 4 to 6 heads of lettuce in these little cups. And you don't even have to buy the cups because, Blue, I know that you're in another country. And I don't know what's available to you guys as far as hydroponics where you are or what Amazon will ship to you. But go over to Yogi Hollow Farm. She did a video where she took just a little plastic container that her dog's like supplements came in, and she took a soldering iron and she just melted little lines into this plastic cup, and it fit right down perfect into the top of a Folgers coffee container that she made up. But you could drop those right into the lid of a tub, a Rubbermaid tub with a lid, and you can grow your lettuce right there in your kitchen. You can do that, Blue. You can.
I was trying to read all the chats.
Yeah, it'll work. And you know what? Even if you don't have that, you can do like we did. We took the container. That container that I just showed you, it's really almost like this container here.
What container?
The dog food containers.
Oh, I'll grab one.
They resemble. He's going to grab one. He'll show you.
So you can see it.
We painted them black. You paint it on the outside, and the reason you want to paint it is so that you don't get the algae.
Paint.
We use chalk paint. You don't want algae. As long as that water gets light to it, you're going to grow algae. So we painted them black. It's all in that video that I dropped last Tuesday. You paint them black. You cut a hole in the lid for the top for the cup to go into. So you could just have a few of these.
Because Papa
Blue.
Jim spoils his dogs.
You could have some of these just sitting in your kitchen and put them under a grow light or even a really good south-facing window. But these are the containers right here. We took these containers, painted them black. Papa Jim cut a hole in the lid. The lids are painted black. Those little cups fit in there, and it's perfect. And all of this is solution for the plants to grow in. Once they germinate, then you can add some solution for their nutrients, and then your plant just grows right out the top. You don't have to have the big salad bar. You just have to think differently. I've seen somebody take, the like half-gallon orange juice containers or almond milk containers.
Almond milk. A lot of people doing almond milk or that style container. Yeah.
Excuse me. Get one of those that have the little screw top lid on the one side. You unscrew it, drink your orange juice, rinse it out real good, put your water in it, and you could take a piece of netting, just a square of netting, and put it over that hole. Put a little piece of paper towel, put your seeds on it, and then take a rubber band with a piece of plastic and put it over it so it allows the humidity for it to germinate. And then you don't even need the cups. You just, if you get a package of potatoes and it's got the netting that the potatoes come in, the mesh, you use that. And so your plant will grow through the netting. The roots will go through the netting, but it will hold your plant up where you need to have it.
Onions. I'm trying to think of what all comes with that type of netting. There's a lot of things in the produce sections that have the netting, and you just buy that, save the netting.
Your son wants you to do something.
Wants me to do something? What
he wants you to go grab one of those crackies that are completed. He wants you to go grab one of the grab.
Do you know that means I have to go downstairs?
Grab the basil, because the basil is getting a really nice little root system on it. We can show them.
I gotta go downstairs.
I know. The things you do for your kid, right? But he wants everybody to see. I think he's proud of us. They look like Tanny's cracker tubs. Yes, take the cracker tubs, reuse them to make these little cracky systems so you can grow some herbs and some lettuce right there in your kitchen, Blue. That would be awesome. Let's see. What else have I missed? Tanny says I'm not allowed because we just picked up a 12 by 8 greenhouse. Well, you can grow certain things in the greenhouse, and that's great, but there's nothing wrong with having some growing right there in the kitchen too. Especially since because of the weather, the lettuce and the herbs in this cracking method, you're going to be able to grow them year round in the kitchen, regardless of your weather. No bugs, no grit from the soil. It's just going to kind of be like a visit and come again little salad bar where you can just pick what you need and it keeps growing. It's so amazing. You guys need to look into this. I was not sold on it at first, but I've come around, let me tell you. Brenda says, our winds have been blowing 20 to 40 miles an hour every day for the last 24 days. Your allergies are awful. Oh, no, Brenda, that's awful. Okay, so Papa Jim has one. This is, now remember, it started out as the one container he just showed you. So we painted it. Look how lovely it is painted.
I don't want to tip it too much because
don't spill anything. Oh my gosh, the basil's grown since yesterday. Wow,
so I didn't
you see the basil popping up.
I didn't even peel the stickers off. I just painted over the stickers.
Painted right over the stickers. So in this cup, what we did, and you'll see it in the video, is we took a paper towel, a thin cut piece of paper towel, pulled it through this cup that this is all sitting in so that the water would wick up into the pebbles. Oh, he's going to show you the root system. And this is only a couple weeks old.
Yeah, these aren't that old.
Look at the little roots going down into the nutrient water.
And then, I don't know if you can see here. I don't want to hurt the roots. Look at how long the root is.
Look at that.
And then spin that, showing the roots on the sides.
Okay, I'm going to turn this around. And you can see right here, these are the air roots that are coming out. These roots collect air. The oxygen. These roots collect the water. And so we don't keep this filled up to the top. You want to have that air pocket so they can breathe. Here, I'm going to just like push the little roots in so that they don't stick on the sides. There we go. We don't water it. We don't do anything with it. We're just leaving it underneath the lights. So, and look how beautiful the basil's starting to grow only after a couple of weeks.
Here, tilt this down a little bit.
Look at that.
Look at that. So
and no soil.
No soil.
They're just growing in these little pebbles, these little hydrogen pebbles.
And so the only thing, the hardest part of doing all this is you do have to get, well, you don't have to get one of those testers that we got.
Oh, the pH. I have a video coming out too on how to do your pH, your parts per million, how to calibrate it, because I have to give credit to my son who's in here. And James also says hydro in a greenhouse is amazing as well. He's right. We purchased, he told us you need to have a pH meter. So we purchased it. I played with it and stuff. And he said, did you calibrate it? And I'm like, what? He says, did you calibrate that pen, that meter?
You mean read the directions?
You mean read the directions? No. So I learned how to calibrate it. I did a video that will be dropping soon. He's taught us so much. Yeah. He knows quite a bit about growing food this way. So he gifted us, or is on loan, a beautiful 4-foot T5 light, and he wants us to mount it right back here or create a frame for it. And then he wants more garden back here in our background. That's why he says there needs to be some greenery behind us.
Because I've got plenty of these, and I think what I might do is I might just do a whole row back there. That's a good idea.
And do you know what I learned from Suburban Homesteader, Arizona, Wyoming? I learned that we can start tomato plants in these little ones, right? Then we can transplant them. We go through just a little bit of acclimation. We can actually take them right in the cup that these are in and plant them outside in the ground, and the roots will continue to go through. They won't be root bound. Your tomato plant will grow outside. You don't have to get big containers to do inside. You can grow them outside. And then at the end of the season, when the plant's all done and everything, and you're allowed to die off, you just pull it up out of the ground and you cut everything away from your cup and you use your cup again.
I just want to just kind of say that how blessed we are that we have 4 boys, and they are completely went into different avenues. And so we've got a computer IT guy. We've got a school teacher who's automotive, who's following my profession. But he was an automotive tech at a dealership, and then he had an opportunity to teach high school automotive. And so he's doing that. And then I have a son that who's in here right now, who's all into the agricultural part of it. And then our youngest boy, he can do all like the heavy equipment and all the big, all the big Tonka toys that the kids played with. That's what he does. That's his
And he
part of
knows
his
probably just about anything about wells and
wells.
plumbing.
Yeah,
And when we have a problem with our well, he comes over, diagnoses it like that, goes down in that hole, fixes the well.
Yeah. So we got
septic problems, kids on it. He knows what he's doing. You can transplant anything out of hydro to soil. Yes. So do you have to have a grow light? We have grow light on these.
yes.
You either have to have a grow light. It would be smart to have the grow light, or a really good southern facing window where they can get plenty of light.
I don't think you have to have a grow light as long as it's on the southern window where
it's just going to go slower.
Right.
And then if you have the grow light, once you get them germinated and stuff, they can take less. But we do have these under grow lights and they're doing great. But I think once you move them after they germinate, and I think you'll be okay without it. Where do you get the cups? We got the cups on Amazon. I think in my video, I'm not sure if I put a link in there or not, but you can find them on Amazon. There's 2-inch net cups, and I call them nutty cups, and 3-inch net cups. This is a 3-inch that we just showed you here, and the ones in the salad bar are 2-inch.
Yeah, originally I was going to do 3-inch in the salad bar, and then we decided that we were going to do 2-inch in the salad bar.
Yeah, and that'll hold a head of lettuce just fine.
And it gives a little bit more rigidity to the foam. The foam.
So in that salad bar, we have a row of 7 times 3. So we have 21 holes cut in that salad bar. We have mixed lettuce variety, butter lettuce, bib lettuce, Cos lettuce, which is your romaine lettuce, some Great Lakes lettuce, cilantro. We've got all kinds of stuff growing in there. It's just going to be crazy.
James says that if you're inside, a light is honestly
inside. You have to have the light. If you do it in your greenhouse, Blue, you don't have to have the light because you'll have the sun on them coming through. So it's really been a really neat experience. James has helped us pick out our lights. So our salad bar lights, he helped us pick those out, and then he gave us this 4-foot one to use, which it does need to go up right here.
So right now we are using a like all-in-one hydroponic solution that you concentrate that you add to the water. But our son, I've already got it. Our next level is going to be,
good morning, Lisa.
We have individual nutrients that we're going to be doing. So I'm kind of excited about that because it's almost like a chemist.
Yeah, he likes mixing stuff up like that. So Brenda wants to know what the little pebble stuff is. These are pieces of clay that have been baked at such high temperature that each little pebble of clay expands. These are very, very light. They're almost like Cocoa Puffs. They're so light. And so they're called Hydroton. You can find that on Amazon as well. I'll have to see if I've got links in my video. If not, I'll put them in. But these are Hydroton clay pellets, and you can just grow right in these, soil.
And they're inexpensive. And when they are very light. So when you order like a 2-pound bag or whatever it was we got,
it's a bag.
It's a big bag.
It's a big bag because they hardly weigh anything. Budget. This is really neat because I was watching Yogi, Lisa over at Yogi Hollow Farm. She's the one who inspired me on this, and I bought some things following in her footsteps. And then our son came over and he's like, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. He just started bombarding us with all of this knowledge. It's like, oh my gosh. So in this one here that we just showed you with the basil, we're not even using rock wool. We're not using anything to actually start those seeds in. What we did is we used the paper towel that we used for wicking. We just made a little nest. We did the wicking paper towel, filled some of those pebbles in there, and then made this little nest of the paper towel and put our seeds on there and covered it up with more pebbles, and they just grew right through there. You should be able to pick them up from your local garden center, says the Major. If they've got them. I've not found anything like that anywhere where we live. We had to get them on Amazon, but it depends on where you live.
And I think James will reaffirm for me. They do in the bigger cities, like we have a bigger city that they do have hydroponics, and they have everything.
I think we need to have a field trip.
Yeah, and I believe that our boy James has already said that we're do a field trip and see what a hydroponic shop looks like.
James says you don't know healthy food till you eat real nutrient dense food. Yeah. Yes. If not, you can get water beads. I don't know if the water beads, I don't know anything about the water beads. James might know a little bit about that. Hydro stores, he says. Yeah. But it's really been neat. I'm really thankful to not only Lisa for inspiring us to look into this, because she would put videos out and I was like, I wasn't in the gardening mood, and I knew I was going to do a garden outside and I didn't have room on the inside. And then I was just talking to her one day and this light bulb went off, and I remembered we had that salad bar down in the workshop, which was no longer in the workshop. It was outside all winter to the elements, snow and everything.
But it's stainless steel.
It's stainless steel. There was nothing wrong with it.
And literally,
oh my gosh, boom! I was on it.
All it really took was about $7 for the actual to get it set up to hold the hyd, because I had to put that valve in the bottom. Yeah. Other than that, then it was the rest of the stuff was just.
So it was $1. It took a little elbow grease to clean it up. About $7 to get the valve at the bottom. Right. Because that salad bar, how it worked is they would fill it up with ice and then keep all of their ingredients in it at this restaurant where it was before. And then there was a drain at the bottom where it would just always just drain out the ice as it melted.
And they probably had a drain that would drain through the floor.
Yeah. And so Papa Jim actually put a valve in there so you could turn it on and off. And that way, if we have to drain anything, he could drain it right into 5-gallon buckets and dispose of it. Right. There are hydroponic specialty places here too, less likely at garden centers. So you've got an outlet right there, Blue, that you can get some things. So that would be really great. Even if you just take 1 or 2 of Tanny's Cracker Barrels, paint them up. You don't even have to paint them. I mean, if you have dark paper, you could take the dark paper, but wherever light's going to get in, you're going to have the risk of algae. And see if you can start something in them, and then look into, getting some nutrients. That's another thing that we've learned from James is like, you really need to make sure you've got good nutrients because that plant's being fed those nutrients. That's how it's going to grow. And then in turn, you get the nutrients.
On my end of doing this is every Sunday I go and I pull I do the parts per million test on it, and I know where I started and what the parts per million for the week is, and that will tell you how much nutrients your plants are consuming.
I think what we need to do, not this week, because it's gloomy doomy outside.
I want to, one more thing is that's you don't have to get to that much detail, but that's just something that my son and I were discussing about the nutrients intake, and you can tell. I don't want to scare people off thinking you got to test this all the time, because there's a lot of people that don't. They just
some people don't test it all and they have success.
Yeah. They just.
But you're into it now.
I'm into
He's into it. He wants to know what those numbers are. And then I did have somebody ask in that video. I don't know if it was the floating lettuce video or in the cracky video. Somebody had questioned about a fish tank. They said they have a 50-gallon fish tank, 55-gallon, and they want to do something. And Papa Jim has a 40-gallon fish tank that he picked up. And we're going to put fish in it and then maybe plants over it.
We're going to try doing what's called an aquaponics.
Aquaponics, so that the nutrients, the fish poop, will then feed the plants and it will just drain back down. And since the water going up into the plants will not go through soil, it'll just go through the plant matter and then back down. There's not going to be any soil to clog up all the filters and everything. It'll still be good water for the fish. But I think what we need to do, my nose itches, I'm sorry. We need to plan a system up here in this window, or you need to build a PVC, whatever, to hold the light, the 4-foot light, so we can have the 4-foot light back here. I think we need to get a boot tray. And for those of you who think boot, I'm talking about an actual boot for your feet, not for the trunk of your car. We need to get a boot tray, so if there's any spillage, it won't get all over my beautiful antique buffet back here. But we need to have a boot tray across the bottom here. And I think we need to make several more little cracky containers and have cracky back here growing. And I'm going to do the tomatoes. I'm doing tomatoes and maybe start some squash, or who knows what. I'll start cucumbers. We'll get them started back here and then maybe get them out into the garden.
We'll do something.
So, but not this week. It's too blustery outside. I don't think I want to go outside. You're hungry? Are you ready for breakfast?
I think so.
I don't know. Oh, poor Papa Jim. I got leftover beans from the bean burritos. I was gonna make eggs and potatoes and
That's
beans.
fine.
You
I'm
want to
fine with
eat
that.
you want to
Yeah.
eat the beans?
I mean,
Beans
you're the one's
today?
gonna suffer, not me.
I have some stuff to throw at it. Yay! Still here, just have to feed the cat. She's trying to eat my foot. Oh goodness, that's not good, Blue.
Gee.
Well, I think what we're gonna do before Papa Jim starts gnawing on my foot, you would love to see how you grow tomatoes that way. Brenda, head on over to Yogi Hollow Farm. She's already started her tomatoes. Hers are going to stay inside. She got big 5-gallon
Lids.
cracky buckets with the cups built right into the lids. She's having great success doing her tomatoes inside. And so what I want to do is I want to start them inside, and then you transfer them into like a very, very, very wet soil, like almost like loose mud. You can't take them right out of the cups and then into the dirt because they have to have this transition. And then once they're in that transition for a while, then I'll put them out into my raised container gardens to get them going out there. So I'll be doing that. Lisa's doing tomatoes too. Head on over to her channel, check that out because she's got some great success with the tomatoes. I forget what else she's doing in the larger containers, but I know tomatoes for sure. But I have a late start. I haven't even got my seeds started yet, but I do have them pulled out. I have some seeds pulled out on the counter because I just did the video
that way.
Not on the counter, no. I just did a video for Wicked Awesome Gardening's 5 things I will grow again and 5 things I won't. So I was kind of going through my seed packets because I don't even have any seedlings started yet because it's just been too cold. I normally start my seedlings outside in the summer kitchen. We had snow on Easter Sunday. It's just too cold for me to even start the seedlings. But in all fairness, I won't even get my seedlings out in the garden until after the first week in June because we get frost up until then. And there's nothing worse than getting your plants in the garden and then have a frost warning come through. And I'm outside grabbing everything off of all of the patio furniture to try to make little tents over our plants.
When I was talking to our boy James, was it yesterday, about not getting the plants in the raised bed gardens and stuff. He says, well, even the farmers don't have anything in the fields yet, so that's
it's cold. And I'm going to say this so it's public knowledge. Our son James has been so great lately with all of this stuff, and he told me, because some of you know that our barn blew down a couple years ago and we've been getting that cleaned up, and he says, his mom, as soon as you get out there and really pressure wash this one area, so I'm gonna get you a greenhouse. We're gonna put a greenhouse out there for you. So we've got a greenhouse in the works coming, and we can do aquaponics out there. We do have power out there. We have water out there. So we can do seedlings, we can do aquaponics, we can do whatever we want out there in the greenhouse. So but then in addition to that, I showed Papa Jim a video about a chicken coop where it really expands the raised garden bed concept. And I said, I really like the way this one looks. I might want to push the chicken coop back a little bit, take some fencing down and make a bigger raised garden where we've got our raised, I don't know, we'll see.
Well, we could probably do that and then make it to an entrance into kind of a split coop.
I want to do a split coop. I do want to do a split coop.
And then we can do runs on both sides of those.
Yeah. Because I want to have a coop and have it split in the middle and have my turkeys on one side and my chickens and turkeys and ducks on this side, chickens and guineas on this side. And the reason is because when everybody eats together, we've got one turkey who's kind of a bully and he pecks at the chickens and he's done some damage. And also ducks don't care who they get randy with. The ducks go after the chickens and they cause damage there. Yeah. And we're having a hard time keeping the ducks separated from the chickens. We have to rethink the whole run.
Pesky ducks.
Those pesky ducks. Yeah. They're lucky we don't process anything on this farm or they would have been gone by now because they're brutal. I love them, but they're brutal. So we have to separate them from our girls. But we also had the skunk attack. So we really need to really rein that in so that we have really nice runs for them, really nice coops to protect them from the predators, nice covered coops so they don't fly out because now our guineas are getting out. They come back every night, but they're still getting out.
What kind of temperature in room does it have to be? I mean, I think when I test the water in the salad bar, the floating salad bar, that water is only about 64 degrees. that water. And so
I think optimal was around 870. I think.
yeah, I think that they in the summertime it'll probably get probably 75-ish or whatever.
So
we
the
keep
water we're not heating, but we're aerating in the floating
Right.
lettuce garden. In the floating lettuce garden, that water is aerated
Right.
with a fish pump, but it's not heated. But in all fairness, these Kratky containers, these all do sit on a heat mat,
Yes,
a plant heat mat.
heat mat.
And I don't know what the temperature of it is, but they do stay on a heat mat while they're germinating, and they're covered so that they have the moisture and the
Right.
heat so that
And
they
we've
can
got
germinate.
we got some that are still germinating, so we just leave the mat on.
Look at James answered you right there, Brenda, above 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Ideal growth temp is between 67 and 77. I tell you, this kid knows.
Yeah.
He knows so much stuff about hydroponics and growing this way. It's amazing. And he's going to have a great garden over at his place. And then
then when we do the big greenhouse, then it'll probably be a shared greenhouse on some of the stuff.
Yeah, we'll have a shared greenhouse when he puts it up here, because it'll be a bigger greenhouse. He's got a greenhouse going up over at his place. It's not going to be a huge high tunnel, but he's selected a really nice one here, and it'll be a family greenhouse. That's our goal, really. Ultimately, someday, I know that I would love it. I know Papa Jim would love it. And I know that our boys here would love it. Ultimately, we would just like to get everybody on the farm. We would like to have a little communal living here on the farm, where our son, his wife, and the two kids, they've got their own place tucked over in one little corner. We'd love for our other son to come down and find a place to build and tuck over in the other corner, have everybody on the one farm, be a united front about, anything and everything.
And so people know that we have two boys that live near us, and then we have two boys that are states away from us.
Yeah, 1,700 miles away. So, but the two that we have here, and if the others ever wanted to come out, they're always welcome. I mean, I don't see it happening, but they're always welcome.
We got the property. They just have to...
See, James, you need to do videos on this, says Brenda, because you are a wealth of knowledge. You are a wealth of knowledge. But ultimately, we would love to have everybody, come here. And I've even told Papa Jim, before he had a big, beautiful hoist put in his workshop, we could let the kids live here in this house. And if we converted the workshop into like one of those barn dominiums, that would be awesome.
What?
Can't do it now because it's got a hoist in there for cars. No. It's not happening. This was before the hoist went in. I thought it would make a great little apartment for us, single floor living.
See, that's what I thought, though. It might go on top of the pad where the barn was. But now it's going to be now
it's going to have a greenhouse, but there's still room for one of those really nice big sheds.
Yeah. Well, there's also
to turn it into
just to the north of us, we have that opening where the mounds of dirt that you had delivered there from the road crew.
I tell you what, if one of our boys wanted to be really industrious, we have 3 metal grain silos. If we would have purchased this property years ago, I would have loved to have turned those grain silos into little Airbnb little apartments and rent them out as an Airbnb. But if somebody got industrious and wanted to secure those up and make little apartments out of them, I mean, that would be a perfect little living arrangement, because you could connect. You could have living quarters on this side and living quarters on this side, and then the main living quarters in the center, and connect them.
What'd you say?
Huh? Like sleeping quarters, and then the main living quarters, like a living room and a kitchen.
Well, you said living quarters.
I know. They knew what I meant.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Maybe I can do some specials on my mom's channel. Yeah. I'd have you over as a special guest, James. We could do that.
Yeah, you could do like have you had your coffee chats, or you have whatever. You could have, your grow chats or whatever.
Going green,
or
with Mama's offspring.
Good Lord.
He's our firstborn. Those houses are really neat, and we've got those 3 sitting there. We had somebody say the other day they said they know somebody who would maybe want to come get those bins if we wanted to sell them. And I said, well, we eventually we're gonna have to put a roof on this house. Maybe it'll help towards the cost of the roof. They offered us $150 a piece. It's like, heck no, I'm not selling those things for $150 a piece.
No, they'll sit there for that.
Yeah. And they said, well, they have to hire a crew to come take them down. That's going to cost them a lot of money. That's not my problem.
Yeah.
Not my problem.
Plus, I actually, when I took the workshop, I had a bunch of stuff in there. I actually took one of them, and that's my storage for my stuff that I use all the time.
Great storage. So. And we saw Our neighbor has one of those, and they actually put a garage
They
door in
put a
it.
garage door, a
I
roll-up
think they
garage
keep
door
their
in
travel trailer in
it.
there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I'm buffering. Oh, well, then that just means
Who's buffering?
there is an interest in this subject, James. There is. There's definitely an interest in this subject, so we'll have to get together and do some
we're
videos.
Buffering?
Either we're buffering or the major's buffering. Somebody's buffering, but I think that is our signal.
Yeah.
You guys, did y'all know that I met? It doesn't want to stay on my head today, but I went out and saw the UPS man, FedEx man the other day with that crown on my head. Boy, that just went all the way across the room. That's our signal. We're going to go make breakfast. We're going to get on with our day. Thank you guys so much for joining us for another week of pinata stuffing. We will be back next week for week 18. And then after that, we've only got 8 weeks.
Yeah.
8
and
weeks.
Then we'll start working on maybe getting something in the back there.
We will heed our son's advice, and we'll see about getting some greenery back here. That means my antique typewriter is going to have to go somewhere. 1917 typewriter. I'll have to find a good place for it. But we'll get some greenery growing back there, James. Don't you worry about it.
All right, guys. Take care.
We'll see you. Mahoosive Huggles to Blue and everybody else.
Yeah.
Bye-bye. End broadcast.